Hello everybody and welcome back to Huddersfield Town Fan TV. Yes, hope you're all doing well and hope you're all having a good week so far. In today's video I'm going to assess the squad as it is now and look at which other positions we need to strengthen, as well as highlighting a potential striking option that could be now available for us after we missed out on Nathan Lowe. We'll also bring you up with all the news on the transfer developments at the moment, with anything else, and other bits and pieces along the way. So do let me know what you think as we go along as well in the comment section as you're listening in when I upload the video. But before I do get into today's topic, guys, obviously, I do want to just say a few things first. Now, as you guys will have obviously recognised, I didn't post yesterday at all. To be honest, I was surprised I uploaded 2 videos on Monday. Anybody that watched those videos could probably see that I was feeling quite downbeat. And I was surprised that I did do those 2 videos, to be honest with you, on Monday, the way I've been feeling lately. I mean, what I will say, guys, is that it is very easy to put on that brave face in front of a camera, but in reality, you couldn't, you actually couldn't, I actually couldn't feel any different off camera. That's the reality. And long story short, moving forward, I'm going to be remaining consistent, of course, but I'm not going to be strict with myself and say I'm going to do a video every single day and just like force that content out there. Because like I say, sometimes there isn't any news out there anyway that we can report on. Sometimes I've got a few other ideas that I've got in the pipeline that I'm going to be releasing very, very soon, as well, but they're videos that are going to take a week to kind of, edit and sort out, really. So, but yeah, there's not always there's not always news to report on, and sometimes I don't have any other ideas as well. So both combined, look, I'm going to be doing plenty of content, but I'm just saying that I'm not going to say to you guys, look, we're going to be doing content Monday to Friday because it's just not always manageable for me personally, but also there's not always news to report and there's not always ideas that come to my mind, especially when I'm feeling in those low moments. I have more of a blanker mind at that point, so I don't really have any ideas for, inspiration for ideas at that point, as you can imagine. So, yeah, just wanted to kind of bring you up to date with everything, guys, obviously, and that's how we're going to be moving forward. And yeah, definitely a couple of uploads every week, no doubt about it, leading up to the season. And obviously, when the season begins, then it will obviously, the demand on me is obviously goes up then, because like I said, it's a busy time with the, double matches a week situation, 2 matches a week in the meaning. Yeah, so, but we'll get to that when we come to it. But look, sorry for waffling on, guys, but I just wanted to explain things. But please do drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and on the road to 1K subscribers. We are now just 24 away, can you believe? We're getting closer and closer by the day, towards my biggest long-term goal that I've had since I set up the channel. I always said to myself, I'd love to get to 1K subscribers, and yeah, look, I never thought we would get there. It was a long distant dream when I first started this channel, and now we're on the cusp. I can almost touch that 1K subscribers, guys, which that does cheer me up and that does bring a smile to my face, I must admit, as you can see. But yeah, also comment your thoughts. What I'm going to discuss in this one as well. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. I always love reading what you guys think in the comments. I try to reply to everyone. Sometimes I don't always get back straight away, but I do acknowledge every single comment. So big up to you all. But look, let's get into the topic for today then. I'm going to put up on screen now the way the squad is shaping. I've done kind of a draft of how the squad's shaping up now and the options in each position that we've got at the moment, with the new signings included. And then we are obviously going to. Then I'm going to. There we are. That's the right image. I was having to get my own image up on here because obviously I realised what I was doing. Right. Anyway. So yes, what we are going to be doing is going to be going through the squad as it looks now and looking at a few key areas that we still need to strengthen, guys, because let's be honest, we've done very well in this window so far, but it has slowed down a little bit now, and does concern me a little bit because we were making such good progress, and then it's kind of gone really, really quiet, which you do have quiet window, you do have quiet spells in the window. I appreciate that, and obviously because yesterday was the start of the new financial year for all the clubs, football clubs, so just kind of have that refresh period. But you would have liked to have thought that we were, making sure that we make some, we've been talking to other players about moving and then announcing it like some clubs have done on the 1st of July. But yeah, so we're going to have a look at the squad. So as you can see, I've kind of pop this into how many years they've got left in their contract, the players as well that we've got at the moment. So as you can see in the goal, obviously I have put Goodman in there because I do think Goodman will get done eventually, guys. It's just we're waiting on Palace to give us the go ahead to confirm it, because he's had all his medicals, the agreements in place. Just about Palace agreeing his own contract with them, and then that'll be confirmed. So goalkeepers, I do expect Lee Nichols to move on. He's obviously in his final year of his contract now, so if he doesn't move on, then he's going to be staying with us for another year. Then he'll leave on a free, which I think really we should be trying to cash in on him now, whilst we can. The back looks very, very good, doesn't it now, guys? Let's be honest, we've got options in every position, and good options, few options in each position, I put Round at left back, but obviously he can play in the middle. We've got the likes, we've got Miller, Ruskin on the left, Balker and Wallace in the middle, on the left, and then Feeney and Jolo in the centre, and then Spencer and Sorensen on the right. So good options there. Go into the midfield, where I do feel like we have got a few areas that we need to strengthen. Let's be honest, we've got a couple of options in that central midfield area. Kane, which I'm not really convinced about, guys. I already said it before, I'm not really convinced about him at all. So I don't know. I don't think he can be one that can be relied upon in a season. Now, Ledson, of course, the new signing, big signing that was, isn't it? And Kasumu. So I do think Kasumu and Ledson will be the two players that we start in that formation, because it does look like it's going to be a 4-2-3-1. Obviously, we've only got one game to go, guys, so it may change. It will obviously be pretty clear if he keeps picking the same formation over the next, especially in the Austrian tour that we've got coming up. If he picks the same formation in those games, 4-2-3-1, then it's clear that he's going to be going with that formation. I didn't expect him to be like that anyway, because that's the formation he worked with at Ipswich under Kieran McKenna. Then if you look further from the attacking areas, obviously Harness on the right, a new signing. We've got Ben Wiles and Evans in the central attacking midfield role at the moment, which, again, both players just very, just not good enough options to be regular starters. That's how I see it. Ben Wiles in his final year of his contract now. We've still got 2 years left on Evans' contract. Can you believe it? Absolute disaster. On the left, We haven't got anybody on the left at the moment. Now, people are probably wondering why we not put Ruskin up there. Ruskin can play that role, and I'm not saying he can't, but Ruskin, first and foremost, I think, is a fullback, because he does like that defensive side of the game as well. He's not an out-and-out winger, even though he can be utilised there. There's no question about that. But we're still very, very short guys in that area. And the reality is if Brewster needs to play, he's going to have to play further forward, because I do see the other two options, better options in that position. So yeah, Brewster probably will have to play on the left if he is to start. But we definitely need options on that, on the wings. And then obviously up front, look, I know we've been banging on about how much we need another striker in the building, and people that aren't aware of the situation at the club are probably thinking, why on earth do you need a striker when you've got, 5 strikers in on the books already? You don't know half the story of it. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The only strikers I see contributing anything next season are Joe Taylor and Dion Charles. The rest, absolute garbage. And the fact that we've got Radulovic on still 2 years left in his contract is absolutely it's just shocking, isn't it? And said before, if we can get rid of him, now, sell him back to Finland if they want him back there. I don't know, probably will. Then sell him. We're not going to get the money that we paid for him, but just cut the losses, because he's never going to live up to that value that we paid for him anyway. So just get rid of him. Ladapo and Healy in the final year of their contracts. Look, like I've said it already before as well. Just think if we could just rip their contracts up and just say bye bye now. Do it, because what's the point? Healy, good player on his day, but the reality is he's never fit. So to me, he's not a good player. He's not a good player for us, because he's hardly available for us, and can be as good as you want, but if you can't keep fit, you're just constantly injured, then what's the point? What's the point of him being? He's not part of the squad as far as I'm concerned, because he's never fit, never available. Ladapo, the less said about him, the better. The fact that we signed him in the first place was an absolute disgrace. And you could say that about Healy as well, to be fair, because Healy, the due diligence on Healy was not done. It wasn't done. Because if it would have been, then we wouldn't have touched this guy, because his injury record was shocking. But yet we thought it would be a good idea. Well, not we. That clown that was running the show at the time thought it would be a good idea to spend nearly £2 million on this guy. The amount of money that he's wasted, this guy, this sporting director who's thankfully gone now, is ridiculous. Wasted so much money. And you know what I mean? I just can't get my head around it, how we have allowed it to escalate the way it has with this squad just being in complete mire. So yeah, that's the reason why I said it for a few weeks that we need a new striker, because we've only got 2 options at the moment as far as I'm concerned that'll actually do anything for us. So yes. Now, having looked at that, obviously the positions that need strengthening are clear to us, aren't they? You know what I mean? Creativity in that midfield is clear. We need that desperately. I feel like we are short in the wide areas, I've already alluded to. So we need at least one more winger at minimum at the moment. Another striker, as we've been saying for ages. Central midfielder, look, I've said it before, I think in that deep lying position, I've said it before, look, our ideal pairing of Ledson and Kasumu, I think, is a good one to have. The only thing with that is because they are obviously quite older players, I think they'll be all right in League One. To be fair, I don't think you need that. I was just thinking, in terms of like the legs we'll have in that midfield. But I think it'd work with Ledson and Kasumu. But I'm not convinced about Kane. Kane's been a lot of the season out injured, and then when he was available, he looked shocking anyway. So I don't really know. And also factoring in that the likes of Kasumu, who is always out injured for a period of time every single season. That's the theme that we've seen whilst he's been with us. So we need somebody that can step into his place. I don't feel like we've got that at the moment. So and that is a big issue. So I do feel like we need another player in that area, if I'm being honest. Now, talking of strikers, I've been kind of wondering who we should turn to next after obviously the Nathan Lowe situation fell through with us getting him, and you know what I mean. And I've seen one particular striker that could be available now, and that is Bailey Kadamatry, whose parent club is Sheffield Wednesday, and we know the troubles they're in at the moment. It's been well publicised, hasn't it, with their owner and players not being paid, and now players are being told that they can leave if they want for free. Which is why there's a real opportunity for us here. But plenty more clubs will be circling on Kadamatry, I think. But Kadamatry did spend last season on loan at Lincoln, of course, in the same division as us. And for me, he was one of the opposition players that come to our place that really stood out to me, the way he played. And I was really impressed by him, to be honest with you. He has experience in the league, but he's also a quality player. And his big potential he has, still at only 20 years of age, I think, he's got a high ceiling, of course. Got lots of improvements to do and lots of, and he's yet, obviously, he's still learning. And I think his attributes are clear to see, to be honest with you. He's strong, powerful, got pace as well, a lot of pace, good with the ball at his feet, an aerial presence as well. And like I say, he does obviously have that aerial presence because of his height, and he's strong. He doesn't get bullied off the ball, and that's what you need up there, up front as the centre forward. His numbers last season probably didn't do him justice, I will say that, but I think there can be factors to that. Some managers may not warm to him, some managers, and there's always managers have their favourites, and I don't really know what the situation was at Lincoln last season, to be fair, with their strikers, but didn't have much game time last season, I will say that much. That is the concern for me. Now, I'm presuming he did have those injury issues, maybe, or he just wasn't selected. I don't know which. But I think for me, he's definitely someone I'll be looking at. If you can get him in and have a full pre-season, then he can stay. Then it gives him a chance to stay fit for the season, and he's certainly a player that I would have confidence in to lead the line and provide competition for Taylor. Because obviously I think Taylor will. We do play the formation we do, guys. We probably will be looking at Taylor as the number one course. But Kadamatry, will certainly provide that competition, and he'll be a good player to come off the bench as well. You know what I mean? And one of those kind of game changers. And who knows, may force his way into the starting lineup as well if we manage to get him. So so like I said, I think he is good with his feet, got a good, strong, powerful strike on him. Obviously, we have got links with the Kadamatry family, of course, with Danny playing for us, a striker himself, of course. But Danny played for us, didn't he? Gosh, I don't know how long ago now. That was probably when I was really, really, really young. But but I do remember him vaguely because I remember that was one of the first chants that I think we had a chant from, didn't we, at the time. So yeah, we have got that link with the Kadamatry family. So and he's local. He's local, obviously, Sheffield Wednesday. So he won't need to relocate. So I think it does. It would be a fantastic opportunity. Let me know what you think about this. What do you agree with me? Would you see Bailey Kadamatry as a potential player that would come in and really help us, or are you probably thinking maybe look for somebody else? Let me know. Let me know any names that you think in terms of strike in any position. To be fair, who any players that you've kind of looked at and you thought, yeah, I'd love to see him at Town. That's realistic, of course. But yeah, let me know. So yeah, that's a striker that I've been, that obviously has alerted my attention with the Sheffield Wednesday situation that we've seen, and the fact that he's going to be available at free. Look, an inquiry about him is not going to harm us, and I do think that he would come in and he would be a big, big player for us. I think he would be. I think he would contribute quite a lot for us as well. So I'm just a big fan of his, to be honest with you. I do like what I've seen of him, and I believe in his talent. I think he's really talented for sure. But yes, let's see. Maybe that potential player will come in, but we'll have to wait and see if Bailey Kadamatry does make the switch over to West Yorkshire, to our club Huddersfield Town. Still waiting on the Palace goalkeeper Owen Goodman loan deal to us to be confirmed, which is some other news that I'm bringing to you now. Now, I'm going to say this much. I'm really, really surprised that this is taking so long. Considering it was reported Wednesday he was going to be having his medical, which presumably had been done, which has already been done now, because it doesn't take that long for a medical, guys. Let's be honest. I'm no expert, but I know it doesn't take this long. But what I've heard is Palace want to agree a new contract with him, for a new deal with him first at Palace before sending him out on loan to us, and that's what we're waiting for at the moment, from my understanding. So yes, I don't think there's a doubt in the deal. I just think it's the case of waiting on Palace to sort that deal out with Goodman before they send him out. But yeah, he's been held up. Probably hasn't helped with the situation at Palace at the moment with the Europa League situation that they're in at the moment, whether they're going to be in it or not. So they've been very busy with that. So that's kind of probably took up all their time really at the moment. But yeah, we can only hope that it will get done as soon as possible, because it needs to be done by Friday this week for me. Because the longer this goes on, the more questions will be asked about what the heck is going on with this deal. Because yeah, we're just not being kept in the loop about it, have we, at all? And we've not seen any other updates from Eddie regarding anything. And if he would have failed his medical, it would have said by now. So don't think that's the problem. Just think we're waiting on Palace. So let's see what happens. But he certainly needs to be on that plane to Austria for the tour in a few weeks. It's 2 weeks. Is it 2 weeks? Can't remember when the lads go out now. It might have been back in the next week that they go out for a week or so. But yeah, he definitely needs to be on that tour in Austria. So let's see what happens with that one. In terms of players we've been linked with, obviously Ethan Galbraith deal is definitely not going to happen, guys. Now, if it ever was going to happen, because probably it was a long distance dream to ever get him in the first place, but we did, of course, have that bid rejected, which is a stupid offer, by the way. We should have gone in with that, with a bigger offer than that, and then test the water with Leyton Orient. And if they would have accepted it, then we might have actually got first dibs at him before other Championship clubs have been lurking on him. And now Swansea seemingly look like they're going to get him, now front runners for him. And yeah, obviously Swansea in the Championship. So now Championship clubs have started inquiring. We've got no chance. So yeah, I mean, I just don't know who we're gonna try and get in now, but I haven't got any particular names for who we could potentially play in that creative playmaker role as the cam, but we definitely need somebody in there. We definitely need somebody in there because, like, I'm not convinced with the options we've got at the moment, with the likes of Wiles and Evans. Just they're not starters, and to be honest with you, Evans shouldn't even be at the club anyway. But Wiles probably might be a better player from the bench rather than a regular starter, but that remains to be seen. But yeah, I think he'll be a decent option for the bench. But Evans, just yeah, he was, we saw that link with him to Wigan. That must have been must have been a made up story lie because we haven't heard anything since. So there's clearly no truth in that whatsoever. Unfortunately for us, we thought we were going to be able to cash in on him now, which is what we need to do. But yeah, so there's been no real movement in terms of sales apart from obviously Sorba Thomas moving on. But yeah, there's plenty more work to be done, and we need to get going quick because we need to have the majority of our players. I know you can't get every single player in by, right early on, but we are actually approaching near enough 3 weeks, including the 1 week closure of the window being open. And we've done a lot. We have done a lot, but there's a lot of work to be done still. Let me know how many players you think we still need to be getting, because there's been a lot of talk on social media about that recently. Like, I just think it just depends what we're talking about here, because I do think we're kind of let's have a look at the starting lineup. Like I said, I think we need a winger, one winger minimum at least. So that's 1 striker, 2. We need a playmaker in there, a real playmaker. 3, and then I think I said that we need another deep line midfielder. So that's 4. But that's not touching the service with the bench guys. So this is where we're at, isn't it? And I think we do need, we need 1 or 2 game changers from the bench as well, don't we? So I think for me, we definitely need 4 players to be able to start every week for us. And then a couple go off the bench. So I think we're still 5 or 6 short. That's the truth of it. So let me know what you think though. Well, thanks so much for watching. This has been a bit of a longer video today, but obviously there's been a lot to discuss. But thank you so much for watching. If you have reached the end of this video and you're still listening, make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and let me know your thoughts on everything that's been discussed today, and let me know who you'd like to see come to the club. What do you think about the Bailey Kadamatry potential signing that we could make that I recommended earlier? Owen Goodman, are you worried about that, or do you think it will get done in the end? I think I'm feeling alright about it at the moment. I do think if we get to the end of this week and there's still nothing, then I will start to become a bit worried, to be honest with you. But for now, I'm alright. Just want it to be officially confirmed ASAP. But let me know what you think. And yes, thanks so much for watching. Until next time. Up the town. Lee Grant's family. I had a mind up there. Sorry. See you all very, very soon. Take care, everybody. Thanks for your support.